Hey sis, welcome back to my channel. I'm Yanique, and I really wanted to have a conversation just about a concept that I've been seeing floating around the internet across social media, and it's really about the concept of being that girl. A lot of the content that I've seen has really been focused on girls who are in their single season of life, which is to me a beautiful season to be in as well. It's equally as special as being married or in a committed relationship, but I did want to give my own perspective because baby, I'm that girl, period. And I believe that we can be that girl, whatever that looks like for you, even as moms and as wives. And so that's something that I really wanted to touch on because it kind of plays into, Yanique, how do you balance it all? How do you get it all done? I think all of these things kind of mesh together, and that's something that you've asked me about over on Instagram to talk about. So here we are. Now, if you do like conversations like this, definitely like this video. Subscribe if you're new here. Welcome to the family, sis. And let's dive right on into this topic. Now, I am a true believer that because I do see myself as being that girl, it really does aid in me getting it all done, or everything that I need to get done, or balancing it all, if you will. I am also a firm believer in getting it all done does not mean that you have to be the one to actually do it. Okay, and so that's something that I want to talk about further on into this video. But first, let's talk about what does it even mean to be that girl. This is something that you have to decide for yourself. But for me, I define being that girl, being someone who has her priorities in order, right? Like, I am taking care of myself, but I am not being selfish because I'm taking care of my family as well, right? So my family is cared for. I'm cared for inside and out. My house is cared for. I'm making an impact on the world, and not even the world, my world. I'm making an impact on my world, on my community, on the people that surround me, my family, my friends. You know, I'm making an impact where it matters, and that's on people's hearts. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a sleigh, baby, but we gonna have a message with the sleigh. And for me, that is being that girl. Like, you know, I am put together, but in a way that is real, that is tangible, that is not outlandish or out of reach for everyone, because where I'm at in life now is content. I'm still chasing goals, but I'm learning how to live in the moment and relish in where I am right now, right here, as I work towards the future, you know. And it took a lot of time for me to get here. Like, I was that mom and wife that felt overwhelmed, overworked, underappreciated, and just like I was going through a day-to-day without no rhyme or reason. Like, all of my days blended together and they looked exactly the same, but yet I didn't feel productive. I didn't feel like I was getting anything done, but I was so tired because I felt like I was constantly moving, constantly performing some sort of action. But because I didn't have my priorities in order, I was just a hamster on a wheel, and my actions were productive in a sense of where, like, I was busy, but all of the actions, activities that I was participating in were in survival mode. Baby, that's what it was. I was in survival mode. And so I wanted to talk about how did I get here to this place where, without a shadow of a doubt, y'all, I'm gonna care for me. I am going to care for me, and I'm not just talking about externally. Yes, I am beautiful. You know, my skin is popping, my hair, this ain't my hair, but she is popping too. Okay. My makeup is done, my outfits, I got the looks, but my heart is also taken care of. My soul is also taken care of. I'm working on body because I did gain some weight, honey. But health-wise, as far as I know right now in this moment, I'm healthy. My body is moving, right? I don't have aches and pains. My knee hurt, but baby, that's a whole nother topic, okay? She is 30 something. So but I don't have any major issues health-wise at this moment. Thank you, God. The first thing that you have to define is what roles are important for you. Just think of it in terms of at your funeral. What are the type of things that you want people to say about you? What do you want to be remembered for? What legacy do you want to leave? What characteristics, what actions do you want to be known for? I want to be known for being a loving person who is always there in a healthy way, for people when they need me. I want to be known as a resource. I'm working towards being known as a resource. Like, those are my goals. You have to define what that is for you. It could be you want to be known for being a girl who slayed every single day, and that's fine, baby. I too want to be known for being put together, for always being cute. At my funeral, y'all make sure that all the pictures that you show is me in a banging outfit. There's something crawling on my window. Oh, it's my ladybug friend. Okay. Hey, ladybug friend. Girl, I thought you was something else. You almost got squashed. Welcome back. Yeah, so all my funeral pictures I should be slaying. Okay. But I do want to be known for much deeper levels than that as well. The major turning point for me from getting to a place where I no longer felt overwhelmed, underappreciated, and extremely exhausted is learning how to take care of me, even in seasons where, my children are small. Because as newborns, they literally can't do anything but be dependent on you. So in those spaces, yes, more of your time, more of your effort is going to be consumed by your small person that goes into toddler. Is she getting 8? Oh no, a spider's eating my ladybug friend. My bad. I'm back. I shook her out the web. Now if she go back, that's on her, okay? Because some of y'all don't listen, and you get the freedom and you climb right back into the toxic situations to begin with. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, to get to a place where I did not feel overwhelmed, underappreciated, and extremely exhausted, even with the same level of stuff that's on my plate. Because my roles didn't change. I'm still a mom. I'm still a wife. I'm still a sibling. I'm still a daughter. I'm still a friend. I'm still an employee. I am now an employer, praise the Lord. And so it's like, the roles didn't change. The level of stuff I have on my plate did not change. In fact, it might have increased, okay? The most important thing that changed for me was I had to realize that taking care of myself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically was no longer a sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice, it's a necessity. It is something that has to happen. Now, for me, taking care of me means I am going to carve out space to do my skincare routine, to spend time with God, to eat properly, even if that means hiring a meal prep service to make sure that I'm eating properly, because me on my own, I'm gonna be in Chipotle every single day. But that's beside the point, okay? I have to be a priority on my to-do list, or else my world around me starts to crumble and fall apart anyway. So taking that time for yourself, it's a necessity. The people who are dependent on you need you to be at your best self. You cannot perform at the best of your ability, and you cannot pour into your husband, your children, your friends, your family, or the community or world around you if you're pouring from nothingness. And the only way to be pouring from your overflow or from your abundance is to be filling yourself up, consistently filling yourself up. So you have to decide what filling myself up looks like. For me, I'm gonna spend time with God. I am going to listen to motivational podcasts. I read motivational books to constantly improve my workflow, improve my efficiency, to improve the lens through which I view the world. I'm always trying to make sure that I am feeding and filling myself up on good, enriching things. Do I like a trashy TV show and a little novel, a little romantic novel here and there? Of course I do. Yes, as you know, I definitely watch Selling Tampa. And I definitely watch Married at First Sight. Y'all know I love Married at First Sight. And so I'm not saying everything that I consume is 100% wholesome. However, 90% of my consumption is things that are going to be beneficial for me. Even my social media, like the accounts that I follow are motivation, inspiration for me, okay? Whether it be a girl who's gonna slay head to toe every single day, or somebody like Maddie Woodard who's going to give me marketing advice. He might snatch my edges every here and there, but I follow accounts like Style by Casanova, who is helping me improve how I take care of my home. It's these type of accounts and content that I'm consuming that's going to help fulfill me, to make me a better person and better in how I show up every day for myself, which then benefits everybody else. Okay, I hope that makes sense. That was a roundabout way of saying, girl, fill you up in whatever that looks like. If it's bubble baths every night, if it's your skincare routine, if it is drinking water first thing every single morning, you just have to find ways to take the time that you need to pour into you. Now that I'm in my 30s, I can look back and tell you that the most important lesson that I learned is that I am responsible for making me happy. My happiness cannot come from anyone other than me, not my husband, not my children, not a friend, me. I am responsible for figuring out what's going to make me happy and then doing that on a consistent basis. If I rely on somebody else to feed my happiness, to continually do activities to make me happy, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to feel unappreciated. If I am constantly looking for someone else to give me flowers, I am setting myself up for disappointment because I am not going to put a God level expectation on another human being. That's unfair to them and it's unfair to myself. You have to figure out what activities or what things that you need to do to make yourself happy. You cannot control anybody's actions. You cannot control anybody's reactions. You can't control your own children. Girl, have you tried to control a toddler? Exactly. It cannot be done. Only person who you can control is yourself. And sometimes even that's negotiable. But it's the only person. I can only control my own actions, my own thoughts, and my own behaviors. I can only improve myself. Everyone else I can guide, I can try to teach, but I cannot control. Just me. The second lesson that I've learned on the journey of becoming that girl is contentment. Learning how to be content and cherish my current situation even as I'm working towards my next goals. I found that I was rushing through life. Like my 20s was me rushing through life, and even my teens, like college to my 20s, baby, I was rushing through life. I had my first son when I was 21, about to turn 22, and a lot of his milestones I don't remember because I was constantly rushing to the next thing. It was like, oh my God, look, he's eating food. Woo, can't wait for him to crawl. Oh my God, he's crawling. Can't wait for him to walk. Can't wait for him to run. Can't wait for him to go to school. Can't wait for him to graduate. You know, it's just like always chasing things, and now it's like, dang, like I don't remember when you got your first tooth because it was like, okay, you got one, where the other one's at? You know what I'm saying? And I found that I was doing that to myself too. It's like I did not celebrate graduating high school, graduating college, getting my master's degree, getting that first job, moving into my first house. Like I did not celebrate any of those things because I was constantly looking to the next step, the next thing. Okay, it's like, all right, cool. We graduated college. Okay, now we got to get married. Now we got to have this baby. Now we got to get an apartment together. Like it was always something next. It was like, okay, we got our apartment. Great. Now we got to save up for a house. Now we bought a house. Now we got to furnish the house. Now I don't like this area anymore. We got to sell this house. We got to move. And I just wish if there was something I can say to my younger self, it would be, girl, I'm not saying slow down, but cherish each thing, because a lot of the places where I was depressed, a lot of those places and spaces where I was jealous of other people's the things and accomplishments that they were getting and the places that they were in their lives, if I would have just sat down and taken a moment to soak it all up, I would have been more thankful to God, and I would have been more grateful for where I was in life, and I would have been less jealous, and I would have been less like, woe is me, and why not me, Lord? Because a lot of the things that I had, a lot of the experiences and the people around me were answered prayers from the past, but I never took the time to just sit down and soak it in instead of just worrying about the next step. So I don't do that no more. I don't, baby, it could have been a new coat at a new price point that I've never been able to afford. I am celebrating and cherishing that moment and not just looking to, oh, I can't wait until next level is reached. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm teaching my children that to celebrate everything that we consider to be small, because that's another level or another place that we've never been before. So I'm going to soak this moment in. I'm going to enjoy this moment here and see it for what it is, a place of gratefulness, a place where I've grown to and I'm going to grow from. But it's in that celebration that you find, the space to be that girl, to honor yourself as that girl, because baby, you absolutely are. Purred, okay? A lot of the anxiety and depression that we face is, of course, I'm saying outside of the chemical imbalances that we may have. Outside of that, the anxiety that we cause ourselves and the depression that we cause ourselves is because we're rushing to the next step and we're comparing ourselves to others, okay? So if you choose instead not to compare, but to celebrate each and every milestone and accomplishment, I guarantee you that you'll start feeling like that girl. You'll start feeling like the bad bitch that you are. Purred, okay? The last lesson that I learned on my journey of becoming that girl is how to balance it all. And the key to that is delegation and outsourcing, sis, okay? And you can outsource at any level. So when I say outsourcing, I mean finding the help, the services, or the people in your house who can take on tasks that you necessarily don't have to do but want to get done. So for instance, right now I have a housekeeping service, I have laundry service, I utilize a meal prep service, and for me it's about buying my time back, okay? I want my house to be clean, and so my housekeeping service only comes once every other week, so 2 to 3 times a month, and so that means I still have to clean. I'm not completely reliant on them, all right? But it alleviates a lot of pressure because I'm no longer having to think about like, oh my gosh, when's the last time we've cleaned behind the fridge? When's the last time I've dusted my fans or my baseboards? Because I know that those things are being maintained on a regular basis every 2 weeks, right? And so it takes a lot of pressure off of me, and I get to use that time in a way that can be productive to growing my business, getting me out of this 9-to-5 life, or productivity in the means of resting, okay? Because productive does not mean that I have to be doing something at every moment of time. Rest for me is productivity, okay? Because if my body has not rested, if my brain is tired, who pumping out content? And creative, good content, valuable content at that? Baby, who doing that? Who's going to be able to pour into my children? Because if I haven't rested, I am not that nice of a person. So how am I going to be guiding, teaching anybody if it's coming at a place of haggard, overwhelmed, exhausted Yanique? It's just not gonna happen, okay? So the time that I have bought back from cooking, cleaning, washing and folding and putting away clothes goes into taking care of myself or taking care of other areas, okay? I'm looking forward to my next level of delegation. Of course, I am doing it in a smart, sustainable way where I can sustain it financially, okay? But you don't have to be at that level immediately. Like if you cannot afford a consistent meal prep service or consistent housekeeping, you can start with like grocery delivery or grocery pickup. Almost every grocery store does grocery pickup for free. That is a form of outsourcing and delegation. Somebody else can walk through the aisles and pick up your groceries for you, and all you have to do is spend the time to pick them up. That's like an hour that you saved now because you've utilized a service that is free to you. Delegation can be, okay, you can sit down with the people in your household and decide who is doing what chores, who's responsible for what, so that you don't feel like you're responsible for it all. That is a way to save time, to get your time back to focus on other places that you need that time, okay? I don't really like doing dishes. My husband is responsible for dishes, okay? I don't really like doing laundry. I got a laundry service, and in between time, my husband does laundry. I just have to figure out who's gonna fold them because he gonna wash, he ain't gonna fold. But that is another major lesson that I learned. It is okay to utilize your resources and delegate tasks that A, you don't like doing, or B, you need to get done but you don't have time to do. Delegate, outsource. We're buying our time back all 2022. Okay, that's just the place that I'm at in life. Oh, look, my ladybug friend is thriving. She's doing well. Just avoid the spider, sis. But that's just where I am. For me, being that girl is using my time wisely, delegating where I need to, outsourcing where I can, to use that time in other places that are, I'm not going to say more important, but very important and need time to do, okay? I'm going to take care of myself inside and out, period. I don't see it as being selfish because I cannot be the woman that my family and my world needs me to be if I am sacrificing my self-love and my self-care. I can't pour into you from an empty place. So I'm going to make sure that I take the time to fill me up. Fill me up, Lord. Okay, and that's it. So baby, decide what's important to you. Stay in a space of gratefulness even as you strive for more, and you will be that girl, period. You can do all the superficial, I'm not gonna say superficial because taking care of myself externally is very much a part of being that girl. Okay, so I am going to dress nice. I love makeup, so I'm going to put makeup on. We're going to slay a wig, or y'all know I'm going to slay a ponytail. Okay, but I'm going to take the time to look put together because I am a big proponent of if you look good, you feel good. I know looking put together helps me feel very much like that girl, but that internal side is so important. So important because you don't want to look good and feel like crap and not do the internal work, the spiritual work, in order to be well-rounded and to be completely inside and out that girl, sis. Okay, like this video if you like content just like this, so I know, we can sit down and have a little bit more chit chats just like this. Subscribe if you made it this far, sis, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Let's go figure out why this child is crying.